Planning for retirement can feel overwhelming, and even with years of saving, there are still challenges that can catch people off guard. Joining us today to help navigate some of those challenges is Mark Taylan, founder and managing partner of Advisors 360 Private Wealth Management. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, let's kind of start with big picture here. What are the 5 key risks every retiree needs to know about, and how can people really start preparing for them?
Yes, we've identified them as 5 things. The first is longevity. Most people are living a lot longer these days, so your retirement savings has to last almost 25 to 30 years in most cases. The second risk is market risk, and market risk is the volatility of the market. It's very unpredictable. Third would be survivorship. What happens to your family when you pass away? Will your spouse be able to survive with the loss of income? The fourth would be taxes. Obviously, it's what you get to keep. And finally, inflation, the purchasing power of your money.
Now, can you briefly walk us through these 5 core risks you just mentioned and kind of explain why it's so important for clients to address each one of these?
Yeah, we'll start with longevity. The first thing is that retiring at 65 and having a life expectancy these days of in your 90s, it's almost 3 decades of having those funds that you've saved for retirement having to last to provide that income. And so it's important to address that by having guaranteed streams of income, making sure you have a thoughtful income strategy. The second thing is market risk. It's important, especially with the markets as high as they are today, to make sure you're balanced appropriately and you have the right risk level, because you don't want to go into retirement and all of a sudden you're invested the wrong way and your assets start to drop. Survivorship, it's important that you do the planning to make sure that, typically in a household, you've got 2 sets of Social Security. And when one of you passes, one of those Social Securities is lost. So that's a significant drop in household income. So Social Security planning is very important, and looking in the future to see when that eventually does happen. Taxes, thinking about conversions, how to maximize your distributions and minimize taxes is very important. And finally, inflation, making sure those assets grow, because a dollar today is not going to buy as much as it will in the future.
Yeah. For those who are still a few years away from retirement, what steps can they take now to start really minimizing these risks early?
Yeah, it's not too soon. Most of the clients we work with are within 5 to 10 years of retirement. And so that 10-year window is so important, because if you do the proper planning, you're meeting with an advisor, running your projections and a financial plan, we think you'll have much better financial clarity and give you peace of mind that you're on track.
Mark, how can working with a financial advisor help people feel more confident and better prepared as they approach retirement?
I think what that does is it really validates where you are today. It gives you a good assessment of what you need to do in projections and what you need to save and prepare for, what that retirement's going to look like and the risks that you face. And I think working with a financial advisor gives you that validation and confidence.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing your insight with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
For more information, you can visit advisors360pwm.com or call 408-778-8280.